Life has a way of teaching us lessons we never asked for. Sometimes the very qualities we think will bring us peace and happiness become the reason we feel betrayed, broken, or lost. Kindness is one of those qualities. People say kindness is a blessing, and it is, but only when used with wisdom. Today, I want to show you 7 ways how kindness can actually ruin your life if you are not careful. People will take advantage of you. One of the hardest truths you will ever learn in life is that not everyone sees your kindness the way you do. To you, kindness might be a way of showing love, compassion, and humanity. It might be the way you were raised or the way your heart naturally works. You help people because you want to see them smile, because you know what it feels like to struggle, and because you believe that the world becomes a little better every time someone chooses to care. But here is the problem. While you are giving from a place of sincerity, there will always be people who see your generosity not as a gift, but as an open door to take whatever they want. They will not see your kindness as strength. They will see it as an opportunity to use you. At first, you might not even notice it happening. They will come with sweet words, with stories that pull at your heart, with promises of gratitude and loyalty. And because you have a good heart, you will believe them. You will stay up late to help them when you should be resting. You will give your money even when you barely have enough for yourself. You will listen to their problems for hours while your own problems stay buried because you want to be the person they can count on. And for a while, it will feel good. You will think you are making a difference. You will believe they value you for who you are. But slowly, the reality begins to reveal itself. They never call when you are the one in need. They vanish when you have no energy left to give. They only show up when they want something, and somehow, they always leave before they can give anything back. That is when the weight starts to sink in. That all along, you were pouring from your cup while theirs stayed full, and now yours is running dry. This is the heartbreaking part of kindness that no one talks about. When you give too much without limits, you attract people who have no intention of giving anything in return. They are not here for friendship, for love, or for genuine connection. They are here because they have recognized something in you. A softness, a willingness to say yes, a fear of disappointing others, and they know how to use it. The more you give, the more they take. The more you say yes, the less they respect your time, your energy, your sacrifices. And before you realize it, you have become the person everyone depends on, yet the same person no one is truly there for. It hurts because you expect people to treat you the way you treat them. You assume that if you are kind, people will naturally be kind in return. But life doesn't work that way. Some people will see your kindness as weakness. They will mistake your compassion for naivety. And the moment they sense that you do not like to say no, they will push the limits over and over until you feel drained, unappreciated, and invisible. And what makes this even worse is that you will start questioning yourself. You will wonder, am I doing something wrong? Should I stop helping people altogether? But the truth is, the problem is not your kindness. The problem is not setting boundaries. Because kindness without wisdom will always invite the wrong people into your life. The kind who will take until you have nothing left to give. You will face disappointment when you choose to live with kindness at the center of your life. You believe deep in your heart that it will come back to you one day. You trust that the love you give, the help you offer, and the sacrifices you make will be appreciated, maybe even returned in some way. Because that's how the world should work, right? Give kindness, receive kindness. Offer love, get love. But sooner or later, life shows you that reality does not always match your expectations. And that lesson comes wrapped in disappointment so heavy it can shake the foundation of who you are. You see, the first time you experience this, it catches you off guard. You help someone out of a tough situation, perhaps even put aside your own needs to make sure they are okay, expecting at least gratitude, if not support, in return when you need it. But then the day comes when you are the one struggling, when you are the one looking for a helping hand, and suddenly the people you once carried on your shoulders vanish into thin air. The phone doesn't ring. The text never comes. The people you stayed up late for, the ones you defended when no one else would, the ones you lent money to when you had so little yourself, they are nowhere to be found. At first, you make excuses for them. Maybe they are busy. Maybe they didn't know how badly you needed someone. Maybe they assumed you were strong enough to handle it on your own. But deep down, you know the truth. The same people you gave everything to were only there for what they could take, not for what they could give. And that realization cuts deeper than any knife, because you thought you mattered more than that. Disappointment doesn't just come from what people do, it comes from what you expected of them. You believed they would stand by you, because that is what you would have done for them without a second thought. But not everyone has your heart. Not everyone sees kindness as a reason to be loyal. Some people see it as convenience, a resource they can tap into when it benefits them and ignore when it doesn't. And it hurts because it makes you question yourself. You replay every moment in your mind, wondering if you misread the friendship, the relationship, the connection. You wonder if you gave too much too soon, too often. You start doubting whether kindness even matters in a world where so many people seem to take advantage of it. And that doubt begins to build walls inside you. Walls of mistrust, walls of caution, walls that make you second. Guess every time you feel like helping someone again. But the harshest disappointment isn't just that they didn't return your kindness. It's realizing they never valued it in the first place. To them, your late nights of listening, your sacrifices, your efforts, those were simply things they expected, things they took for granted, things they didn't think twice about. And when someone takes your kindness for granted, it doesn't just hurt, it breaks something inside you. Because kindness at its core comes from love. And when love is met with silence or betrayal, it leaves scars you can't see but always feel. You will struggle to say no. One of the hidden costs of being a kind person is the weight you carry when it comes to saying that simple two-letter word. It sounds so small, so easy, so harmless when others say it. Yet for you, someone whose heart beats with empathy and compassion, saying no feels like breaking a promise or turning your back on someone in need. You want to help. You want to be there for people. You want to make sure no one feels abandoned the way you once did. So when someone asks for your time, your energy, your resources, or even your presence, your natural instinct is to agree, even if deep inside you are already exhausted, overwhelmed, or running on empty. The problem begins slowly. At first, it feels good to help because kindness is part of who you are. Someone needs advice. You stay up late on the phone, even though you have work early in the morning. Someone asks for a favor. You rearrange your entire schedule to make it happen. Someone borrows money. You give it to them, even though you are silently calculating how it will affect your own bills. Every time you say yes, you feel you are doing the right thing. And for a while, you convince yourself that this is what life is all about, being there for people no matter what. But over time, you begin to notice something changing, not in them, but in you. You are more tired than usual, but you ignore it. You have dreams, goals, and plans you keep putting off because someone else always needs you. Your days begin to feel less like your own and more like a collection of obligations, favors, and responsibilities you never planned for. And yet, when the next request comes, the word yes still slips out of your mouth almost automatically. Why? Because deep down you are afraid. Afraid that saying no will make you look selfish. Afraid that people will think you don't care. Afraid that someone will be disappointed in you. And that fear keeps you trapped in a cycle where everyone else's needs come before your own. The emotional toll of this struggle is heavier than most people realize. You start feeling guilty for wanting rest. You feel anxious when you see another message asking for help, because you already know what you are going to say. You feel resentful sometimes, but then you beat yourself up for even feeling that way because they need you. And you should be grateful you can help, right? But here is the silent truth. Every time you say yes when you really want to say no, you chip away at your own well-being. Your kindness becomes a burden rather than a joy. You start carrying responsibilities that were never yours to carry. And the more you give in to this fear of saying no, the more people come to expect it from you, because you have trained them to. They know you as the person who always says yes, the person who will never turn them down, the person who will bend until they break just to keep everyone else comfortable. And slowly, without even realizing it, you stop living for yourself. Your energy is scattered across other people's problems. Your dreams stay trapped on paper because you never have the time to chase them. Your heart feels heavy because deep inside, you know you are giving more than you can afford to give, but you can't seem to stop. And all of it traces back to this one struggle the fear of saying no. You might attract the wrong people. One of the most painful lessons you will ever learn is that kindness, when given freely and without boundaries, can draw not only good-hearted people into your life, but also the kind who see your heart as something to exploit. It sounds cruel, doesn't it? You want to believe that your generosity will only attract gratitude, loyalty, and real connections. But in reality, the brighter your kindness shines, the more it draws people who come not to give, but to take, not to love, but to use, not to build with you, but to drain everything they can before moving on to the next person willing to do the same. It starts so innocently that you rarely see it coming. Someone steps into your life appearing grateful for your help, showering you with compliments, making you feel like they truly value your heart. And because you are kind, you believe them. You give your time, you share your resources, you open your heart. Maybe you even defend them when others question their motives because you want to believe the best in people. But slowly, you start to notice a pattern. They only show up when they need something. The conversations always circle back to their problems, their needs, their struggles. Rarely, if ever, do they ask how you are doing or what you might need in return. And the painful part is that you excuse it at first. You tell yourself they are going through a tough time. That real kindness means giving without expecting anything back. But deep inside, a quiet voice begins to whisper, something feels wrong. Because real relationships, whether friendships, family bonds, or partnerships, should never feel one-sided. There should be mutual respect, care, and support. Yet with the wrong people, your kindness becomes nothing more than a convenient tool for them to use whenever it benefits them. What makes this so damaging is that the wrong people know exactly how to keep you hooked. They sprinkle just enough charm, just enough fake appreciation, to make you doubt your instincts. They say things like, "I don't know what I'd do without you," or "You're the only one I can count on." Not because they truly mean it, but because they know it keeps you feeling responsible for them. And you, with your compassionate heart, fall for it again and again. Over time, this pattern begins to eat away at your energy, your confidence, even your sense of self-worth. You start wondering why the people you help never seem to stay, why they disappear once they have taken what they need, why you feel emotionally empty after interacting with them. The truth is, the wrong people don't come into your life because of who you are. They come because of what they can get from you. And the more you give without limits, the more you become a magnet for those who see your kindness as weakness rather than strength. This is where the emotional damage cuts the deepest. Because when someone uses your kindness, it doesn't just waste your time or your resources, it leaves scars on your trust. You start questioning everyone's intentions. You begin to wonder if anyone actually cares about you, or if they only care about what you can do for them. And slowly, the very thing that once made you proud, your kind and open heart, begins to feel like a liability instead of a gift. Your goals might suffer. One of the silent consequences of being too kind, one that often goes unnoticed until it's too late, is how much it can pull you away from your own dreams and ambitions. You start out with plans, with visions of what you want your life to look like, with goals that light a fire inside you. Maybe it's building a career, starting a business, finishing your education, or simply creating a better life for yourself and your loved ones. But as soon as you have the kind of heart that wants to help everyone, those dreams slowly get pushed to the background. Not because you lack ambition, but because your time, energy, and focus keep getting consumed by everyone else's needs. It begins so subtly that you barely notice it happening. Someone asks you for a favor, and you agree, telling yourself it won't take too long. Someone else needs help moving through a personal crisis, and you stay up late listening, even though you had planned to work on your own project that night. Another person needs money or support, or your presence at yet another event, and you push your schedule aside to make it happen, because you don't want to disappoint anyone. One by one, these small sacrifices pile up, and before you know it, weeks, months, even years slip by while your own dreams gather dust. The painful part is that nobody else sees the cost you're paying. People see your kindness, they see your availability, they see your willingness to help, but they rarely see the goals you keep sacrificing to make room for them. They don't see the nights you give up on your studies because someone needed you to run errands. They don't see the weekends you cancel your plans to be there for someone who won't even remember the favor a month from now. They don't see the opportunities you say no to because you're too drained from carrying everyone else's burdens. And the truth is, this pattern can slowly destroy your sense of purpose. Because while you are busy being everything to everyone else, your own dreams stay frozen in time. You watch others achieve their goals, move forward, and build their futures while you remain stuck in the same place, wondering why you feel so unfulfilled even though you've spent so much time helping people. Deep inside, you know the answer. You've been pouring all your energy outward, leaving nothing for yourself. And the worst part is that the people you sacrifice for rarely notice the weight you carry. They don't see that you were supposed to be working on your business plan when you were helping them move. They don't realize that you gave up applying for a better job because you were too busy solving their problems. And even if they did realize it, many wouldn't care enough to tell you to focus on yourself. Because the truth about always being available for others is this: people get used to it. They assume you'll always be there, no matter what it costs you. And while they go on with their lives, chasing their dreams, celebrating their successes, you are left feeling like a background character in your own story, someone whose goals and ambitions never get the same priority as everyone else's needs. You will learn harsh truths about people. When you live with kindness in your heart, you want to believe the best in people. You want to believe that loyalty exists, that gratitude is real, that if you pour love and help into others, they will at least value it, even if they cannot return it. But life has a way of showing you things you never wanted to see. Because the more you give, the more you will begin to notice truths about people that can feel like a punch to the gut. Truths you never expected to face. Truths that make you question not only them, but sometimes even yourself. One of the first harsh realities you will discover is that not everyone is as genuine as you are. You might assume that people smile because they like you, that they stay close because they care, that they ask for your help because they trust you. But with time, you learn that some people are only around because of what you can offer them: your time, your money, your support, your presence. When those things run out, so do they. The day you have nothing left to give, you will see who really valued you for you and who only valued what you could do for them. It is a painful awakening because you remember every late night call you answered, every favor you agreed to, every sacrifice you made thinking the relationship was built on something real. And then you realize that for some people, you were never a friend, never a priority. You were just an option, a convenience, a solution to their temporary problems. The moment your kindness no longer serves them, they vanish without explanation, without gratitude, without a second thought. Another truth that stings just as much as discovering how easily people forget. You can help someone through the darkest season of their life. Give them money when they are broke, shelter when they have nowhere to stay, encouragement when they are ready to give up, and yet the moment they get back on their feet, they act like you were never there. Suddenly, they are too busy to call, too busy to check on you, too busy to even acknowledge what you did for them. And it hits you, not everyone carries gratitude the way you do. You also learn that some people will betray you despite everything you gave them. You can be loyal to the bone, defend them when others talk behind their back, stand beside them when everyone else walks away. Yet they will still gossip about you, still lie to you, still let you down in ways you never imagined. That kind of betrayal cuts deep because it makes you question your own judgment. You wonder how you could have been so blind, so trusting, so willing to believe they would treat you the way you treated them. And perhaps the harshest truth of all is realizing that kindness does not guarantee kindness in return. You can love people with all you have and still not be loved back. You can sacrifice everything for someone and still not be chosen when it matters most. You can give and give until it hurts, only to discover that some people will keep taking as long as you let them, with no intention of ever giving back. You will be forced to grow stronger at first when your kindness leads to pain. When people take advantage, when they disappoint you, when they disappear after you gave them everything, you feel broken. You feel as though the world has betrayed you. You gave your time, your love, your energy, your heart, and what you received in return was not gratitude but heartbreak. You feel empty. You feel used. And for a moment, you even consider changing who you are. You tell yourself, maybe I should stop caring. Maybe I should stop helping. Maybe I should become like everyone else, cold, distant, untouchable. But then something happens. Slowly, through the hurt and the betrayal, you begin to realize that all of this pain has been teaching you something. Every disappointment, every broken expectation, every person who left when you needed them most, they were all shaping you, molding you, forcing you to confront truths you might never have seen otherwise. They were teaching you about boundaries. They were teaching you about self-respect. They were teaching you that kindness without wisdom is a trap, and that if you want to keep your heart open without losing yourself, you must learn where to draw the line. Because here is the thing, the pain that comes from misplaced kindness does not destroy you unless you let it. It teaches you. It pushes you to finally say no, without feeling guilty. It shows you how to give without emptying yourself. It forces you to look at the people around you with clearer eyes, so you can separate those who deserve a place in your life from those who only bring chaos and selfishness. And as you learn these lessons, something inside you changes. You stop begging for appreciation because you realize your worth does not depend on how others treat you. You stop over giving to people who never show up for you because you learn that real love, real friendship, real loyalty, they are always mutual. You stop feeling guilty for putting yourself first because you understand that you cannot pour into others from an empty cup. You grow stronger because you have no other choice. The pain leaves scars, yes, but those scars carry wisdom. They remind you never to ignore the red flags you once overlooked. They remind you to protect your peace the way you protect your loved ones. They remind you that your kindness is valuable, precious, and should never be wasted on people who only come to take. And here lies the beauty of it all. Kindness, after it has been tested by pain, becomes different. It becomes deeper, wiser, sharper. You learn to give, but you give to the right people. You learn to help, but you help without destroying yourself in the process. You learn to love, but you love with eyes wide open, not blindly hoping everyone will value it the way you do. So yes, kindness can break you at first. It can drain you, disappoint you, even make you question your own heart. But if you let it teach you, if you let the pain shape you instead of harden you, you will rise stronger, clearer, and more powerful than before. You will no longer be the person everyone can use. You will be the person who gives with strength, with purpose, with wisdom. And that is when your kindness becomes unstoppable. Not because you never got hurt, but because you turned the hurt into growth, the betrayal into lessons, and the pain into power.